On behalf of the League of Women Voters of the Spokane area, welcome to our 2022 General Election Candidate Forum featuring the candidates for the Board of County Commissioner District Number 1. I'm Ann Murphy, your moderator, and Mike Bell of the League is the timer. With the county redistricting from 3 to 5 districts, this is a new district and generally includes the city of Spokane, west of Division or Nevada, from 29th on the south, north into areas of Meade, and excluding the Indian Trail area and southwest city of Spokane. Voters should have received by now a card from the county elections office with your new district number on it. Only voters who reside in this district will vote for these candidates in the general election. The new maps are available on the Spokane County election site should you want to see closer street names. Election day for the 2022 general election is Tuesday, November 8th. Ballots will be mailed to all registered voters beginning October 19th, and the return ballot must be postmarked or deposited in conveniently located ballot boxes no later than 8 p.m. on Election Day. This forum can be seen as an equivalent to a job interview as you, the voter, learn more about the candidates seeking to hold office. And you, the voters, are the ones who will determine by your vote when you mark your informed decision for hiring your representation. Citizens can register to vote by mail or online at votewa.gov by October 31, 2022, or in person up to and on Election Day at the Spokane County Elections Office or Center Place in the Spokane Valley. For other questions about casting your ballot or information about the candidates, contact the Spokane County Elections Office 509-444-477-2320 or visit their website, spokanecounty.org/elections, or on the League of Women Voters online voters guide, vote411.org. I will be asking the candidates questions that have been formulated by the League's Voter Services Committee and will ask as many questions as time allows. Before the questions begin, the candidates will have up to 30 seconds to introduce themselves and tell the voters why they are running for this office. They will have up to 1 minute to answer each question with additional time for rebuttal or follow-up as seems appropriate. And then each candidate will have the opportunity for a 30-second closing statement. The first speaker will alternate with each question. So now to meet the candidates. They are Chris Jordan and Kim Please. So starting with you, Mr. Jordan, you'll have 30 seconds to tell us why you're running.
Well, it's an honor to be here. Thank you to the League, thank you to my opponent, and thank you to the voters at home. I'm Chris Jordan. I was born and raised right here in Spokane, went to Meade schools, K through 12, fourth generation Spokaneite. I grew up playing catch at Holmberg Park with my grandpa and picking pumpkins at Green Bluff in the fall. I'm a state attorney who focuses on child safety cases. I'm running for this position because I believe we can do better to build a region where all children and families can thrive. We need new voices, and I look forward to answering your questions.
Thank you. Ms. Please.
Thank you. Thank you to the League of Women Voters for having us today at this forum. My name is Kim Please. I was born and raised here, and I went to Gonzaga and graduated from Washington State University. For the past 32 years, I've owned my own business, and I want to serve my community, my hometown. I'm a hometown girl. I plan to stay, and I have a lot I feel that I can give back to my community.
Thank you. And now we're going to move into our questions, and we're going to start with to please expand, tell us the things in your training, experience, and skills that you have that have prepared you to take on this position. And we'll start with you, Ms. Please.
Well, being born and raised here in Spokane, my parents had a small a business that I grew up in, taught me a great work ethic about listening and giving back to your community. Very community-minded people. And again, for the last 32 years, I've run a small business, woman-owned business, and I've dealt with all sorts of big businesses, small businesses, and an ambassador of Spokane. So I've had employees and taking care of them And it's all about taking care of your employees, your clients, and your community.
Okay, thank you.
You
Mr.
bet.
Jordan.
Thank you. I grew up in Spokane in a politically mixed family, a middle-class family with law enforcement officers, small business owners, teachers, nurses, and you really learn to respect and tolerate those of different views. I'm an assistant attorney general, spent 7 years working on child safety cases, dealing with families in crisis and trying to help them heal. That's a critical experience because I can sympathize with and understand at a deep level some of the real issues and barriers that families face in our community. I've got a record protecting public safety. I'm a proven problem solver as well, who's worked with Republicans and Democrats to pass bipartisan legislation helping homeless children. And I'm a union member. I'm proud of that. I'll be a reliable voice for working families. I'm proud to be endorsed by 18 labor unions and organizations, including the firefighters and others.
Okay, now we'll move into some other questions and just hitting what's right at the top of our local news and community interest is the current crisis with managing various issues related to the unhoused in our community. So what are your views on the county working together with city councils and mayors to address the homelessness issue in a timely, coordinated, and effective manner? And specifically, what actions will you advocate for to address this crisis? We'll start with you, Mr. Jordan.
So the first thing I want to say about homelessness is that as a person of faith, it breaks my heart to see what's going on in our community with homelessness and to think about what folks who are homeless go through on a daily basis just to survive. Am I going to be safe? Can I take a shower? We have to keep our compassion on this issue. That's who we are as a community, but we can be smart as well. I believe that the citizens of Spokane are crying out for real solutions and regional leadership on this issue, less finger-pointing, political bluster, and half-baked ideas. We have county leaders right now who are leaving millions of dollars on the table that's available to help address homelessness in our community because they've presented no plan to take advantage of that money. We need to look at best practices like peer support outreach. We need adequate shelter space. We need services for drug addiction and mental health to help people transition out of homelessness.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Please.
Well, like I said, as a business owner, I have a building on Trent where my business was, and the Trent shelter is right across the street from it. So I've my entire life of working with children for the Boys and Girls Club for 12 years as a volunteer and a donor. I see all the issues with homeless kids. First and foremost. So as a person that has helped to understand, I'm all about listening, learning, and then leading. So I think the root of the issue goes back to affordable housing, childcare issues, handing them money doesn't cut it. I think that what we need to do is, work with getting them into housing, affordable housing, and helping them with job training and understanding.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. And that was a perfect segue because my next question
good.
is, and so following on that, and you will start, Ms. P, that what actions and priorities do you think are most important to increase the inventory of affordable housing in Spokane County? So what zoning changes or other changes might be considered to reduce urban sprawl and increase those other housing options?
Well, I'm all about helping and working with local businesses to come up with housing solutions. I know that we can't look at the Growth Management Act until, I believe, 2026, but we also need to take into account the existing neighborhoods that we have. So, working and planning and adjusting zoning that might be needed in certain areas where there could be possible growth of building houses, I think is very important.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Jordan.
So, on housing, I've had the experience of being a young family trying to buy a house in this market, and it is scary. People are dealing with skyrocketing rents in this community, and that affects people trying to get into the middle class, saving up for that down payment on that home. I'm proud to be endorsed by the Spokane Realtors Association and the Low Income Housing Alliance, and I believe that I've built a broad coalition because I understand we need to increase our housing stock to deal with the affordability crisis. I believe that specifically more middle housing options would make a big difference to give people lower cost choices and have that variety of housing choices to bring the price down. We can help first-time home buyers, but we've also got to grow smart in a way that takes into account best uses and cost-effective uses of existing infrastructure, and I think that we can come together for a regional strategy around housing by working together as a community.
Okay, thank you. Now we'll shift gears a little bit and talk about the Board of Public Health. While the reorganization of the Board of Public Health follows the letter of the law, what changes might you support relative to the size and/or composition of the board that could benefit the responsiveness of the Board of Health? And how would you address health disparities for the BIPOC community that were revealed during the COVID pandemic? So a couple of things there. Mr. Jordan, you're first.
So first of all, on the health board, I want to say that I have an extraordinary personal respect for our healthcare heroes in this community who put so much on the line during the pandemic to keep us safe and healthy. I understand that on a personal level. My wife is a family medicine doctor, so I have seen up close the amazing dedication, training, hard work that goes in to becoming a doctor or public health official. And that's why I believe that public health decisions for our region should be driven by those who are the most qualified to make them. That means, at very least, we need a medical doctor on our health board. And I would love to see representation restored to places where it was taken away, such as Spokane Valley. And I think that we need to address some of these disparities by, first of all, acknowledging them and rebuilding the capacity of our health district, which has been worn down by poor county leadership.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Please?
Well, I have the utmost respect for our county employees that work at the health district. I agree with Mr. Jordan about having a medical doctor on the board as well as other leaders. Again, the public health is just an important part of our community, and the county commissioners are, responsible for the health district. So, and again, I just want to say I'm all in favor of having representative from different sectors of the community that deal with public health, as well as a medical doctor.
Okay, thank you.
You bet.
So shifting, another responsibility, of course, of the county is dealing with our criminal justice system. And it's estimated that 60 to 70% of the Spokane County General Fund is absorbed by criminal justice-related costs. So you'll have an opportunity to re-envision law enforcement and the criminal legal system in Spokane County. What would that look like to create a safer and healthier community? So what would you see moving forward? And a term that's been used has been smart justice as well. So, Ms. Please.
Well, I having a sister that works in the court system right now, and knowing many people in law enforcement. My brother-in-law was a sheriff's deputy and been in the courthouse a lot. Seeing what they have to go through. I am a proponent of funding a 13th judge. I see that the stress of the amount of case and the growth in our community as far as the growth of our community, they're seeing a lot of court their caseload is tremendous. And I think that we definitely need to have a 13th judge. I also support our sheriff's department and think that we need to have more training to help them deal with what's happening in our community with crime and people moving in and I have spent time doorbelling, and that's the huge issue is public safety.
Thank you.
You bet.
Mr. Jordan.
Thank you. So public safety is a big issue in the community. I want voters to know that I'm the candidate in this race with a record protecting the public as a state attorney who has dedicated 7 years to working with law enforcement and protecting children. When it comes especially to violent crime and repeat offenders, accountability is critically important in our justice system. I have personally held people accountable in the court system who have harmed children and victimized others. And that should not stop us from being smart about how we deal with the root causes of crime. We know that over 60% of the inmates in the Spokane County Jail have a diagnosed mental health issue or a drug addiction issue. That means that if we could invest some of our rescue plan dollars in expanding mental health and drug treatment, we could actually start to move the needle on prevention, reducing crime, and saving taxpayer money as well.
Thank you. So we'll start with you this time, Mr. Jordan. In the same vein, many in the community do not support building a new jail. What are your views and plans to address alternatives to building that new jail, decreasing recidivism and decreasing the crime rate?
So again, having personal experience, having worked in the court system, having dealt with public safety, I think will be an advantage for me that I can bring to the county board. Personally, I am very concerned about mental health and drug issues fueling a great deal of our criminal problems. But I am also concerned about proposals to spend $300 million or more on a new jail at a time when families are already feeling the pinch with the cost of living and housing. So I think that any candidates who are supporting the building of a new jail should explain to the voters how they're going to pay for it. I am concerned that the most likely option would be a sales tax increase. And I don't think that this is the right time, particularly when there's more we can do, to your question, to deal with root causes. There was a blueprint for reform that our county has not acted on fully to expand drug court. That's a common sense idea I'd like to pursue if elected.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Please.
Well, the jail has been a huge issue, as you know, as far as overcrowding. It is right now. I think I personally met with Mike Sparbers, who is head of detention services and the jail, and who has expressed, a deep concern for the employees that work there and the people that reside there. So I see eroding accountability, crime, as you know, in talking to people at the doorsteps. Crime, repeat offenders is a huge issue, and it just seems like there's no accountability. And it really is not up to the county commissioners whether or not we build a jail. It's up to the voters. So it's not my decision. It's up to the voters. So anyway.
Okay.
So.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. Moving on and looking at the Board of County Commissioners a little bit more, while you have staff helping with executive powers, you also are the legislative authority for this county. And so how decisions are made and with what transparency and input from the public can we expect? We know that the Spokane County has hired a director of public policy and community engagement. So what does community engagement mean to you to get citizens more involved in things that are going on in our county? We'll start with you, Ms. Please.
Well, I'm a firm believer in transparency, absolutely. So, in going to the doorsteps of what I've done in the district is educating people on what actually a county commissioner does. I think that just educating them and getting public input is so important to our job, because we we work for them, the people in our districts. So I think that is clear. I'm a firm believer in transparency. So.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Jordan.
Well, I do believe that the change to having 5 county commissioners elected by district was intended really to bring a greater level of representation and accountability, and I'm looking forward to that. I agree transparency is critically important, and I think that it's also important that we try our best to work together, right? And I have experience having done that, having worked with Democrats and Republicans to pass bipartisan legislation. And to the extent that I can, if elected, I will try to work collaboratively with my colleagues to solve problems in the public interest. As I mentioned, I'm proud to be endorsed by a number of labor unions, community groups, and we need county commissioners who are responsive to the concerns of the community. Childcare is a big issue, as an example, where community groups are calling on our county commissioners to invest some of our rescue plan dollars in childcare stabilization and affordability. I would support that proposal, and I would work with community groups to get that done and be responsive to their concerns.
Okay, thank you. So, looking back to the last legislative session, House Bill 1099, which would have mandated climate change mitigation and environmental resiliency in the state's comprehensive planning, did not pass. And considering that the city of Spokane is at this point implementing a sustainability action plan, please explain plans that you could envision that the county should develop to achieve sustainability goals to further environmental resiliency in all of Spokane County. And we start with you, Mr. Jordan.
So if you're like me and you grew up around here in Spokane, and my opponent, spent a lot of time out on the lake or the river or on our beautiful hiking trails, you are seeing the impact of climate change. We are seeing the wildfires, the suffocating smoke, the extreme heat events that have resulted in people dying in Spokane. My generation is ready to take climate change seriously. Spokane County can, should, and I believe will lead on this issue. What that looks like to me is having a county sustainability plan. We should look at having a county sustainability manager to identify the concrete steps that we can take to build a more sustainable community. We can also lead by looking at electrifying the county's vehicle fleet, and we should be asking the question, how do we in Spokane lead the way to create the jobs of the future and have workers at the table and be central in that discussion about how we move forward?
Thank you. Ms. Please.
Well, the biggest thing is, to protect our aquifer and our river. There's 76 lakes within 1 hour drive of Spokane. The Public Works Department does an excellent job. Stormwater drains. And things like that. So yeah, I grew up in Spokane around, waterways and parks and things like that. So, I'm a huge proponent in anything that we could do for our environment and sustainability. So.
Okay, thank you. So before we go to your closing, would like to give you the opportunity to address any other policy and your solution that has not been addressed here today that you would prioritize. So, Ms. Please.
Well, the biggest thing is I know that childcare issues has been on my radar and is a concern. I know firsthand the struggles of finding daycare. I've had 2 boys, even back 15 or 20 years ago. Daycares were not open at night and on weekends. And, the root of poverty is, one of the issues is daycare issues. And I've seen it in my business with the employees. Not even having daycare issues. Inconsistent daycare has led to mental health issues later in life. And I have spoken with Jesse Johnson, who is an entrepreneur working on, innovative programs for daycare solutions. So.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Jordan.
So I've been calling on our county commissioners to fund, using rescue plan dollars, child care stabilization and affordability for working families throughout this campaign. My opponent did post on Facebook recently in response to an article about our race that child care was not a county responsibility. We have a profound disagreement in this race about what's possible with the county. And it's possible that she's changed her mind about the proposal for child care stabilization, and if so, I'm glad. But I have seen, as an attorney protecting children, that child care is an economic issue because it prevents people from going into the workforce, and then businesses have a shortage of workers. It's also a child safety issue. If families lack affordable, safe child care, sometimes children get left with in the wrong hands. So it's a critical issue for me. I'm proud to be endorsed by many child care providers, and I will work to fund that request on child care stabilization.
And so, because you called Ms. Please out by name, we're going to do 30 seconds more for each of you. Ms. Please,
Well,
do you
I
have
would
more
like
to say?
Well, I would like to rebut that because really the state legislature, if there are childcare issues, what I've heard about small business daycare businesses, it's all about the rules and regulations, and it is very, very hard and strenuous to run a daycare company. So I am looking at, different alternatives, and Mr. Jordan is, knows that the state legislature rules over daycare, and it is a state issue.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Jordan.
So the National Association of Counties recently put out a statement saying that county governments are in a great position to make an impact on child care. We have the city of Spokane Valley that's committed to make an investment in child care with its rescue plan dollars. I think that the county should follow the lead of the city of Spokane and the city of Spokane Valley by making a contribution and helping families afford child care. It's too expensive.
Okay, thank you. And now we're going to go to your closing, and you will have 30 seconds to wrap up here. We'll start with you, Mr. Jordan.
So again, thank you for the opportunity. This is a critical race, Spokane. It's an opportunity once in a generation to bring new voices to our county leadership. I am a candidate in this race who's got experience protecting public safety. I have worked with Democrats and Republicans to pass bipartisan legislation to help homeless families. I'm a proud union member. I'll be a reliable voice for working families. I'm also proud to be endorsed by a broad coalition that I discussed. I'd be honored to have your support in this election.
Thank you. Ms. Please.
Well, again, I just want to thank the League of Women Voters for having us here today. I am the experienced candidate for county commissioner. As a trusted business owner for over 30 years, I am the candidate that knows business, who has had employees, who has worked on a budget, put together a budget, and have really pivoted and worked through every type of situation with 9/11 and the pandemic and the key death of a key employee. So,
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
This concludes our 2022 General Election Candidate Forum featuring candidates for the Board of County Commissioner for District 1. They are Chris Jordan and Kim Please. Now, reminders, as voters, you need to register in order to vote, and you can do that online or by mail by October 31. Same-day registration is up to and on Election Day can be done at the Spokane County Elections Office or Center Place on Discovery Place. Ballots will be mailed October 19th through 20th and must be returned by Election Day, November 8th at 8 p.m. You do not need a stamp to mail your ballot. For locations of ballot boxes or voter service centers, or other questions about casting your ballot, contact the Spokane County Elections Office at spokanecounty.org/elections or 509-477-2320. Contact information as well as voters' guides can be found on the website of the County Elections Office. Additional information about the candidates can be found on the League of Women Voters online voter guide, vote411.org. On behalf of the League of Women Voters, thank you to our candidates for their participation in this forum. We hope this has given you, the voters, information that will help you make an informed decision when marking your ballots by Election Day, Tuesday, November 8th, 2022. For more information about the League, visit our website, lwvspokane.org. And thank you.